Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to explain why the Panthers are going to upset the Buccaneers this Sunday, despite the fact that the Carolina Panthers are 6-9 so far this season and are guaranteed to have a losing season. They still control their own destiny of winning the NFC South. The Buccaneers are currently in first place in the NFC South at 7-8, but remember that the Panthers beat down the Buccaneers earlier in the season by the score of 21-3 back in week 7. Before I say anything else though, I want to present you guys with a topic question. So, here it is. What are the keys to the Panthers beating the Buccaneers in week 17? And I think it comes down to what we talk about with the Carolina Panthers every single week. You got to run the ball, you got to stop the run, and you got to get pressure on Tom Brady, and you got to minimize the quarterback impact that is going to be there at the quarterback position for the Carolina Panthers. What do I mean by this thing? By these things. Let's talk about the first step. The Carolina Panthers running the ball. That means what? Giving the ball to Deonta Foreman effectively. That means getting the ball to Chuba Hubbard's hands. That means getting the ball in Blackshear's hands. If you guys don't know Blackshear, he's an undrafted player that ended up joining the Carolina Panthers on waivers. He's been pretty effective for them lately. Okay, so they got to be able to pound the rock. It's what Steve Wilkes has been preaching basically his entire tenure as the interim coach of the Carolina Panthers. You got to run that ball, and you got to be able to stop the run and keep running the ball. Even when the run don't work, run the ball. Just keep running the ball. Be a physical team because this is a team that can be worn out. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got a lot of big names, but they can be worn out in the run game. They're susceptible to the run game. Okay, so the Panthers, they got to keep running the ball. Ideally, you would like to run the ball about 40 times in this game if you're the Carolina Panthers. Now, what do I mean by stopping the run? This one's going to be the easiest key for me in terms of what I think it's going to take in order to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because the Buccaneers, they don't really have much of a run game. I mean, they can give the ball to Leonard Fournette, they can give the ball to Ricard White, but let's be honest, the Carolina Panthers, they're going to be able to stop that because the Buccaneers have one of the worst rushing offenses in all of football, and Carolina, they're pretty good at stopping the run, so they can go ahead and do those things. They can stop the run, so that's going to be a key that I think is going to be a huge swing in the Panthers' favor. Now, here's the third key that I'm talking about: getting pressure on Tom Brady. That's going to be so key for the Carolina Panthers if they want to go win this game. They got Brian Burns, Derek Brown, whoever on that defensive line, got to get pressure on Tom Brady. They can get pressure on Tom Brady. Y'all know how Tom Brady is when he has 4 men coming in his face. He's the GOAT, but he doesn't do well when he faces pressure. When you only send 4 guys and 7 guys back to drop back. I mean, look, you got to get some hits on Tom Brady, and if you can get some hits on him, that's going to work a long way towards being effective if you're the Carolina Panthers. I mean, the Carolina Panthers, if they can hold down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on offense, I think they got a real shot at winning this game. I know a lot of people are saying the Tampa Bay Bucs, they're supposed to go ahead and win this game. You know, they got the GOAT Tom Brady, albeit he's 45 years old. They got all these supposed weapons. You got Mike Evans, you got Chris Godwin, you got Leonard Fournette, you got Ricard White. They got talent on this team. At least on paper they do. But I've been watching the Bucs lately. Man, they look like they really do not want to be there. They are lethargic, they are boring, and they just look like they were ready to get out of here, to be honest with you, and just be able to celebrate Tom Brady's retirement, because that's what it's starting to look like, what it's all about. And the fourth key that I was talking about is making sure that the Carolina Panthers minimize the impact that Sam Darnold can have on a ball game. Because Sam Darnold, albeit he's done pretty good for them this year in 4 games, he hasn't turned the ball over, which is like a first for Sam Darnold. But to be honest, Sam Darnold hasn't really done much of anything. I mean, look, he's done his job as a game manager, but it's not like we're asking Darnold to throw 30, 40 times a game. And rightfully so, because you can't trust Sam Darnold to get the job done if you're the Carolina Panthers, because we know that Sam Darnold is a turnover machine whenever he drops back to pass the football. So that's what the Carolina Panthers are all about. They got to be able to run the ball, play time possession. They got to be able to stop the run and relentlessly send pressure on Tom Brady without having to blitz, because Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks when you blitz. Now, look, if you're the Carolina Panthers, another thing that I got to say for them is that they got to make sure they get out to an early lead, because the Carolina Panthers have not made a fourth quarter comeback this season. In fact, the Carolina Panthers have not made a fourth quarter comeback since 2019. So it's been going on for 3 years, actually almost over 3 years now, because the last time the Carolina Panthers made a fourth quarter comeback was 2019, week 4 against the Houston Texans. Yes, I actually did the research. You look at all the Carolina quarterbacks that have gone by, we have not made a fourth quarter comeback since week 4 of 2019. So that's really long. So if you're the Carolina Panthers, I think what you got to do in this game is make sure you control the clock, and you got to get out to an early lead. You got to be able to make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the Carolina Panthers style of football. The Carolina Panthers are not going to be able to keep up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers if the Bucs can impose their will in terms of what they want to do on the offensive side. But I think that's going to be pretty easy to do, because the Bucs, they don't have much of an identity this year. And their head coach, Todd Bowles, he's not a very good coach. He hasn't been able to put his stamp on the football team. Now, Steve Wilkes, on the other hand, he's done exactly that. Look, he came in for Matt Rule when Matt Rule was fired after a 1-4 record. Matt Rule was very, very awful for the Carolina Panthers. He was one of the worst coaches that I've ever seen at the professional level. And to see what Steve Wilkes has done, it's been nothing short of incredible. He's 5-5 in his 10 games in Carolina. I mean, I think, in my opinion, if Steve Wilkes wins this game, you got to name him the full-time head coach. There's no question about that. Because the fact that the Carolina Panthers are even in the conversation of winning the NFC South is already short of a miracle, because who would have thought that when the Carolina Panthers were 1-5, and when they traded away Christian McCaffrey, when they traded away Robbie Anderson. Now, granted, Robbie Anderson, he's not that good of a player. He was a player that was in the Panthers starting lineup to begin the year, which is why I'm noting about him. But this is a game, like I said, that the Carolina Panthers can win, and I believe they will win this game. I think they're going to get pressure on Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's going to look washed in this game. I think Deonta Foreman, I think Chuba Hubbard is going to run all over this Bucs defense. They're going to be able to run rush straight on them. Look, the Carolina Panthers, they rushed for 300 yards last week against the Detroit Lions, who were 6-1 in their last 7 games heading into that game. Now, granted, do I think that we're going to run for over 300 yards against this Bucs defense? No, of course not. Let's not be delusional about the matter. But do I think the Panthers can rush for over 150 yards, control the clock for 37 minutes or something like that? Sure, why not? And I think the Carolina Panthers, they can win this, but they got to play for all 60 minutes, because Tom Brady, although he hasn't been good this year, he can still make fourth quarter comebacks. So the Carolina Panthers, they have got to remember, play football for 60 straight minutes. They got to control the line of scrimmage. They got to be able to run the football. They got to get pressure on Tom Brady, and they got to make sure that Sam Darnold does not make mistakes, which he has done a actually solid job of doing this year. Let's try to make it 5 games where Sam Darnold doesn't turn over the football, but we'll see. The Panthers are going to need to bring their A game this week, because we know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're a very good football team. And remember this for the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, if they win their final 2 games, they will win the NFC South. So the Panthers, they still control their destiny as long as they beat the Bucs, beat the Saints. Their division title is theirs. And what an incredible story it would be for the Carolina Panthers to win this division at 8-9, and more rightfully so, host a playoff game against a potential wildcard team, which is probably going to be the Dallas Cowboys. So think about how crazy that story is going to be. I think that it's going to happen. I truly believe that the Carolina Panthers, they can win this division. And anybody that's saying that that won't happen, look, it's not far-fetched. I truly believe that the Carolina Panthers, they can do it. They can pull it off. They just got to simply execute. They got to make sure they don't fall behind, and make sure that Sam Darnold doesn't turn over the football. Because if he does turn over the football 2 or 3 times, then that's not going to be good for the Panthers. But I truly believe that Sam Darnold, he's going to play football the right way. He's going to take care of the football. We're going to be able to run the ball, stop the run, because that's what Carolina Panther football is all about. That's what I truly believe. And we're going to make sure that Steve Wilkes is going to go 6-5 in his 11 games as the Panthers interim coach. And that'll put the Panthers in the driver's seat to win the NFC South. So that's what I truly believe is going to happen. That's what I see happening. So those are the keys that I got for the Panthers being able to beat the Buccaneers this Sunday. That's what they're going to need. And I think they're going to execute. I got the Carolina Panthers winning this game by the score of 24-17. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but I think the Panthers are going to hold on to win by 7 points, maybe score a late touchdown. So maybe they will make a fourth quarter comeback, or maybe the Buccaneers will rally, get a late field goal, and then it's going to be pretty stressful from there on out. But the Panthers, they're going to win by 7. I got the Panthers winning by the score of 24-17. So that is why the Carolina Panthers will upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this upcoming Sunday, as they will end up winning the NFC South with an 8-9 record. Remember, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video, and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I'll make sure I shout you guys out in my Instagram story every Monday. That'll be for the @DustinTran Instagram account. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @DustinTran and @SportsGuyTalking. Also, go follow me on Twitter @DustinTran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel, Sports Guy Talking.